Hi everyone. Today I wanted to talk about fear, about dread, anxiety. What to do with them? Why is it that they come back over and over again? And there's almost a feeling of exhaustion because you know that at some point they'll get you, and it's like you'll be in their grip, in the grip of your fear, and you will not be able to get rid of it. You'll be captive of your own fear. And so we have a very, how can I say, combative, belligerent, and we feel a lot of resistance towards fear. And as I said, we want to get rid of it. And the more we want to get rid of it, the more actually it persists. And so there's this loop that you fall into where you try your best not to have it, it comes up, you resist it, and it becomes bigger and bigger and bigger. And now it looms large on you, and it just becomes this nightmare. You feel hunted or haunted by it. And so most of the time we think, and so this audio is about what to do with fear, how to deal with it. Why does it come up so strongly? Why can't you get rid of it? And why most of us feel captive of our own fears. So the first thing is that we feel captive of our own fears. We feel like we have no say in it, and it's like this outer exogenous element or entity that has more power over us. And that's and so we think that the problem is the fear. We think that the exhaustion, the feeling of powerlessness, the fact that it comes up over and over again and it becomes even stronger, is the fear. And in the end, we think that the problem is the fear, right? So the problem is the fear, and we want to get rid of it. But that's not the case. I think that, for me, it's the first ignorance. And that is why the whole getting rid of the fear strategy is not working. So it's not that the fear is the problem. It's that the fact that you're combating the fear, that is the problem. What is exhausting you is not the fear itself. What is exhausting you is that every time fear comes up, you tense up and you go against it. It's not the fear that is the problem. It's the fact that you haven't included fear into you, but you're excluding it. You're making it a foe. You're making it an alien, a stranger. That is the problem. So it's like this. Imagine that you have your leg, right? Your right leg. And for some reason, you forgot that you have a right leg. And every time it comes into, your vision, every time you see it, you want to get rid of it. So number one, you don't know how to walk with your right, with the 2 feet, with the 2 legs. And so you don't know how to work with it because you've alienated it. And now you're doing everything to alienate it, to put it aside. And so you're combating your own body, your own part. And that is what is fueling the problem. That is what is fueling the suffering, the pain. So instead of going against it, it's about going back and practicing. It's a practice. It's not going to happen in 2 seconds because you've been combating it for all of your life. So in 2 seconds, you can't change your pattern. It's about changing slowly, practicing to reintegrate your fear and making it yours. I mean, like re-owning it. It's not even making it yours, it's re-owning it because it's yours. So, whenever fear comes up, the whole idea is to sit down, and at the beginning, you'll have to sit down because you may not have that good of a focus if until now you've been going against it. But at the beginning, you'll have to sit down, but in the future, you can do it anywhere, You can do it even when you'll be speaking with people, when you'll be doing other things. The whole idea is to, when the fear comes up, you go into your body, you start scanning your body, you see where your fear is. So you locate it. Because fear is going to show up very concretely in a body sensation. So let's say it's going to come up in a constriction in your lungs, let's say in your chest or somewhere else. But let's say that it's a constriction in your lungs. So you go back, you go there, and you start saying things like, I don't know, I'm so sorry you're scared. I'm so sorry you don't like feeling fear. I'm so sorry you're so afraid of your fear. I'm so sorry this is never going to end. I'm so sorry this is so difficult. I'm so sorry you have been living in this fear for so long. I'm so sorry you've been imbued with it, and it's become such a day-to-day thing. I'm so sorry it's repeating itself over and over again, and you're exhausted. I'm so sorry you're so exhausted to have to go against it every day. I'm so sorry nobody has ever been there with you. Now you're talking directly to the fear. At the beginning, you were talking to the resistance, right? Now you're talking to the fear. I'm so sorry nobody has ever been there with you. I'm so sorry nobody has ever felt you. I'm so sorry nobody has ever taken time to sit with you. I'm so sorry everybody wanted to get rid of you. I'm so sorry you're so alone. I'm so sorry it's so cold. I'm so sorry everybody's so impatient with you. I'm so sorry they want to just clear you out. I'm so sorry they don't have time for you. I'm so sorry they want to meditate you out of existence. I'm so sorry they never want to be with you just to be with you, but to get rid of you. And you can go on, so and say these things over and over again to yourself. And what I do usually is, let's say that there is like a very concrete fear that comes up, or there's fear in general that comes up. So I start with a very concrete one. Let's say there is an email that I got that scared me. And I feel a lot of fear whenever I feel dread. I don't want to look at that email. I want to go away. I want to deny it. And then there's a part of me that wants to deny it, and the other part of me is like, oh my God, let's find a solution right away so it goes away, right? So there is these two parts that are warring inside of me, that the one that goes into denial on the one hand and what doesn't want to see it, and the other one that wants to see it, not to see it, but to solve it, to get rid of it. So actually both want to get rid of it. So there's resistance in both. And that's why I become like this ping pong going from one place to the other. And I'm not looking at the real problem, which is the fear of the fear, the resistance, and then the fear itself. So what I do is that as I said, there's this email, right? That triggers dread in me. I take time with that email. Let's say I tell myself 1 week. I start with a week, little by little. And I tell myself, and I focus on that fear every day during that week. Meaning I take that email, I use that email as a way to practice to become okay with that fear, to become okay with the part of me that is so exhausted because it's trying to get rid, one way or the other, of that fear. And so I go back to it. It's like that email becomes this point of focus where I go back to it. I do these meditations where I say, I'm so sorry. I hear myself and I say, I'm so sorry. And I go into it. I feel into it. And then I do it once. And then I do it 2 times. And then I do it 3 times. And each time, there's going to be a little bit of relief. And at some point, I'll be actually fascinated by that email. Because now I've practiced going back and I've told myself, I've shown myself through my own experience that fear did not kill me. It did not punish me. Nothing happened. And suddenly what happens is that you become fascinated by it, which means that you've healed it. And then automatically you'll want to go there. And then at some point you'll just forget it because it's not going to be your point of focus anymore. You'll just naturally go on to something else. And what happens is that from a state of fear, separation, which is a very restrictive place to be in, a very limited place to be in. It's where you go into tunnel vision. From that place, you go into an open space where you're actually curious, you're open, your eyes are more open. And you've just gone through an adventure where you had that obstacle, that dragon that you slayed. And it's just an amazing place to be in. And what happens afterwards is automatically a solution just comes to you. Because now you're seeing reality as it is, and it's huge. It's full of potential. It's full of different solutions and ideas, and and you just, it just comes to you. You don't effort to find it. It comes to you. Because you've opened up to reality, which is to yourself, right? In the end, you opened up. It is automatically going to mirror back by opening up to you. So try this out. Let me know how this works for you. And if you have any comments or any questions, let me know down below. Ciao, ciao.